Hi, today I want to show you how you can turn user file uploads into Base64 data URLs to preview the user file upload without creating memory leaks. It's going to be the most performant and simple way to show it to the user and also to get it to your backend, because it's so simple to receive Base64, usually way easier than working with file objects and binary data, because Base64 is actually a string, a text string representation of binary data that makes it easy to send to your backend without the hassle. So let's take a look at this right now. Perfect. So first of all, to start our whole thing here, we need to create a file input, and there is no file element in HTML. You're going to use the input element, and then on the input element inside of attributes, you're going to select type file. Beautiful. Now, when we have type file, we got our file uploader right inside of here. Now, let's make sure for this example that we only upload images. So I'm just going to do accept image/star, that's the wildcard, to only allow images. But you can do videos, whatever you want to do. Now, under here, I want to upload an image. I want to put an image element inside of here with a maximum width of 25 rem. There you go. And now I have my image, and I want to do 16:9. So let's give it actually a height of 15 rem. Okay, perfect. I can live with that. So that's a nice example here. Okay, and now we have our file uploader and we have our image element. Let's give it some background color that's like gray, so we can see, okay, that's our image element, right? So now we need to go to the file uploader and register an event listener on that file uploader so we can get the file. Before we do that, let's create a variable called file that will house our file. So I'm just going to have that be an empty variable, and then I will go to the input on this input element, and I'm going to go on events, and I'm going to add an input event, and I will look for input. And then on this input event, I'm going to set the variable, and I will get event target. Now we need to do a custom get. We need to do get, and then I'm going to add an array to get into multiple layers deeper into that array that Nordcraft's preview will not give me access to. I need to get access to files, and now I would get an object of multiple files. I only want the first one because we're only uploading one file in this example, so I'm going to do 0. If you upload multiple files, you want to add the multiple attribute on the file uploader, and that will automatically give you an array of files that you can work with if you want to. Perfect. Let's close that. There you go. So now what we want to do is we have this one file into this file variable, and now what we can do is we need to create custom code to essentially turn this into a data URL. But before we do that, let's already upload a file. So if we take a look at the variable here, we see it's an empty string, it's quotes. And now if I upload a custom file, just like that, let's upload the image here, and we take a look at the file, you see it's now not quotes anymore, it's an object. Now, it doesn't help us, we can't see the file in the object, but it's invisible, it's there. It's like in Zapier. If you ever use Zapier, you know how it says file there but not shown? That's essentially what's happening here. So now that we have that, we need to have a little bit of custom code to create this data URL, which is a simple way how we can make this work without using data URLs, without using blob URLs, which could create memory leaks if we persist them. So data URLs are strings, they're not hosted on the device itself, and they do not cause memory leaks when being, when you kind of like navigate in the application. So I have this little custom code here that Dia helped me write, which is, by the way, the best browser you can ever get. And let's create a custom formula for that. Let's call this file_object_to_data_URL. I will create that custom formula. I will convert it to custom code. And inside of this Nordcraft function, I'm going to run this custom formula. I'm going to remove the comments. I'll also share this code with you in the description below this video. And now I just need to write return. right? And now the file I'm inputting here into this function will actually need to come from the argument so we can dynamically get this into the code in Nordcraft. So I'm going to do file, and that will be type unknown because it's a file object. And then I can do args.file. And I already have this console log for debugging, which is, I think, pretty convenient in this. There you go. So now we're returning the data URL. So now let's try going to the home page here, and let's try uploading a file again. So let's upload a file, an image here. Let's open that. And let's verify the variable. As you can see, it's now a file object in here. It's not a string anymore. So I can go to this image. I can go on source, and now I can set the source by going to file, right? And now I'm adding my custom formula to turn this into a data URL. Just like that. Now, it doesn't work right now, so I assume there's something we got to fix with the code, but I'm not necessarily sure if it actually runs. We will need to see what the console is telling us. So let's expand on this. Let's close this, and let's try uploading a file. And let's see if we're getting this to the console log. Now we see we're actually logging this to the console, so we are getting the file data URL. And this should be the valid file. If I were to copy this file data URL, show more, it's quite a bit of a file. I have to admit, it's, this is how your file object actually looks once it's actually decoded into a bunch of text. Oh my God, it's millions of lines. Okay, let's copy that thing though. And if I now were to inspect elements on this image, and I would go to source and paste this whole thing inside of here, you would see the image. Now, it will be a little bit, but right now it seems like the code is not doing this correctly. So let's take a look at what's happening here. We're doing a promise resolve, we're doing the reader, so I assume that this code is not successfully doing the promise resolve. So let's get in here and let's say I get an error, I get a promise resolve object, not the Base64. Now, it does work with a promise resolve. It's probably better being used as an action than a formula. So we may want to consider to migrate that from an action. Just because it makes sense doing it as a formula doesn't mean it actually makes sense turning it into a formula. Using await, okay, it seems like it fixes the code. Console log data URL. I will need to use return as I use a proprietary NoCode tool. Let's do that. I love saying I need to do this because I do a proprietary no-code tool. That's the only way how you get AI to do what you need it to do to make it work inside of Nordcraft. Let's put that inside of here. Let's remove the comments, just like that. It's all the prompt text today. And let's see if that works. Let's try reloading this. And now let's try uploading the file. Huh? No, not really. Let's inspect. No, you see I'm getting object promise. Okay, so it may not consider this, so we should probably work with an action in this case. Let's say I get this. What's expected why the file reading is asynchronous. In JavaScript, the function runs a promise immediately, not a value. Let's try that with the return statement. If that does not work, it's probably not something to be done as a function, and we should probably just convert this to be an action. But let's try that. Function main usage in async context. Data URL. Let's see. I don't think it's going to work, but let's see. Let's try uploading that. Yeah, it's not going to work. It's going to give us undefined. So when you face a situation, let's revert back to the original code here. It's sometimes better just doing this without a function and just piecing the code together and just working with console logs and doing this as an action actually, not doing this as a function. So this is also a great example to learn that. So let's say I need it without functions and only console log, no return. Because we are running asynchronous code, so it's probably better to work with events when the file is uploaded to set that into a variable to then show it. So as you can see, we're now creating the new promise to do the file reader. So let's copy that code. And now let's put the code inside of here. So just because you're using AI to help you, and actually we need to take that code and we don't do a function. So let's delete that whole function and let's actually turn this into an action. So let's go to the action and let's do convert. Let's actually call this file reader, because actually that's what it does. File reader. And let's create that. Let's put that inside of here. Now, read as data, file, reading error, file, promise, resolve. We're creating the reader. We're doing resolve target result on error. We're doing the reject error. Read data as URL. Okay, so the file variable that it puts inside of here, reader.readData, that will need to be our argument. So I will do file and I'll make this unknown. So I'll turn this into args.file, and then we're doing the function. When we do the console log and we get the data URL, I'm turning this to an onData event to return me the file URL. Right? I'm just going to put some sample data in here, and then I need to turn this console log into a ctx.triggerAction event, and then I will register the event listener inside of here and return the data. And then if there is an error, I can also do on error, and then I will do a sample input error message, and then I will turn this console log into a ctx.triggerAction event, and I will put the on error, because we are doing quite an operation that is asynchronous, so it will probably not work as a formula, because that just runs and expects a result immediately, right? Where I assume there are probably ways to actually do that, but you know, this seems to be right now the easiest to resolve within this video without extensive ChatGPTing. So let's try that out, because this should work with using the file reader and then just, you know, adjusting it. So now we need to adjust the way we actually do this, where I don't link this to the variable directly. I'm creating another variable called preview data URL, right? That will be the preview data URL. I will go to the image. The source of the image will be the preview data URL. There you go. Let's do alt test so it removes the error. And then on input event, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on input, and then I'm going inside of here and calling my file reader. The file I'm getting will be actually the same value I'm getting as I'm setting in the file variable. So I'm just going to paste this inside of here, and then on data, I can then set my file data preview URL inside of here with the file URL. And then this should, let's reload the page, hopefully give us the preview of the uploaded image without memory leaks and great performance. So let's try uploading the file inside of here. And as you can see, it will give us the image as a file data URL. So now, as you can see, I have my file object inside of here. And with this little action, we're actually making it previewable. And we're going to get millions of lines of strings, but it actually makes it usually simpler sending millions of lines of string to your backend than sending a file object, because it has those, you know, just like invisibly. Usually, at least when you're using Xano, it makes it easier sending Base64. Now you're getting Base64. You just need to remove this the split part, right? You just do a split on comma and take the last item. So let's actually, you know, make a little formula so we can get the Base64 that you could use send to your backend. We can just do a text area where I need to correct myself. In Xano, it's only a pain if you are doing it with multiple files. It's not a pain if you do it with one file. So that's the correction here. But now I have this text area. So if I want to set this to be an appropriate Base64 string that could be received by a backend, I would take this file preview data URL. And keep in mind that when you have such long strings, your Nordcraft editor is going to really bug out on you. But it's not that bad, actually. And I'm just going to add a split. There you go. And I'm going to do based on comma. And then I'm going to take last. There you go. And that will give us the valid Base64. So now if we open the application, just like that, we can upload an image. And we will now also get the Base64 for the image. So I can copy the whole Base64. This random text here will be the image. And I can go to Base64 to image, one of those sketchy websites. And I'm just going to paste my Base64 code in here. And as you can see, it will decode that to my image. Look at that. Isn't it incredible to think that all this gibberish here, this piece of text here, turns into my face, turns into Johnny's face, turns into Cleveland's face, turns into Damien's face. I think that's like incredible, like technology, like wow. Like I think this is really fascinating that this text, like this piece of text, this alphabet, those letters actually turn into faces of people that we know. That's incredible. Yeah, so this is how you work with Base64 if you ever need to. Don't do it as a formula. Do it as an action because it is an asynchronous task. Don't do the same mistakes I started with. I made those mistakes, so you don't have to. And you can learn from mine. I'll share the little code action here, and it works with any file, CSVs, whatever you want to do. If you need it as Base64, you can work with that. It's pretty cool. Editor is not that bad. It's just really responsive and quick and fast, unless you open that with the Base64 if it has it set. But you know, it's still fast. It'll take like a second. Like if I add a file inside of here and I go to the editor, you know, it's like you see it a little bit buggy, but you know, like I can click on it and it'll take 1, 2, 3, about like 2.5 seconds to respond to stuff. I don't think it's that bad. If you wanted to make simpler, please use upload care. It's going to give you a temporary URL and all those kinds of things. But you know, for whatever you do have this available to yourself now in Nordcraft. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to learn more about files, because it is a very exciting topic, I still can't believe that that part is a B up here and that is the E, and like it's really fascinating. If you want to learn more about how to build amazing applications, and no, don't go to Nordcraft yet. Go to NoCodeProCode.com instead, and then go to Nordcraft, because I want to help you build your application faster and make progress faster and get it safe and sound out there into the market with our daily office hours. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate that. And yeah, happy Base64ing. Take care.